once again for my squeakers, and I'm just gonna jump right into this one because everyone knows the silhouettes, and this is the elevated version, no pun intended. So without further ado, this is the Air Max 1 Elevate Martian Sunrise. So let's get into the rundown. These sneakers retail for $150. All the Elevate versions, there's many of these. I think there's this Martian Sunrise. There's like a navy version. There's like a green version, and they all are signified by this little mini swoosh and an all leather upper that is done in pretty darn good material. I'm actually really little impressed by how soft some of this stuff is. But this is $150. Most Air Max 1s retail for anywhere between $120 to $140, so definitely these are a little more expensive. But if you're looking for a much more kind of premium material type of Air Max 1, I think it's worth the price. I mean, like, most of the other ones are going around like $130, $140 anyway, so not a huge jump from that perspective. From a sizing perspective, I would go true to size. If you actually wear any Air Maxes, for the most part, all the retro ones fits pretty similarly. I mean, they fit a little bit different, but in terms of sizing, I would go with whatever your Air Max size is. These are not the most wide sneakers, so if you do have a wider foot, I would definitely say that you can go a half size up. With that said, I haven't had the chance to wear these for a very long time. My assumption is because they are predominantly made out of leather, it is going to stretch, and so I think true to size is actually going to be best for most people because leather is going to be a relatively pliable and change material based on the heat from your foot, and really just the fact that it's natural animal skin and over time it's just going to stretch. In terms of comfort, I give these like a 5 out of 10. These are not the most comfortable sneaker, not because there's anything wrong with them, it's a shoe that released in 1987, so it's kind of expected to not be the best sneaker in the world. And the leather upper I don't think really adds much to its its kind of comfort. So while it feels premium by touch, I don't think it really changes much from a comfort perspective. The suede ones pretty much feel exactly the same to me. I'm sure these break in a little bit more, but the suede ones also break in a little bit more, so I think it's a wash. In terms of style, I definitely give these an 8.5 out of 10, which is obviously super high. I just think the Air Max 1 is just one of the most classic styles. Like to me, to be honest, like if I had to pick to wear only one shoe for the rest of my life, it would not be the Air Jordan 1. It would probably be the Air Max 1, just because I feel like it is I don't know, it's just a great lifestyle sneaker that looks great. It's pretty timeless, and there's so much stuff that people have done with it, whether it's the Nike team themselves or some type of collaboration that they've done. Alright, so with the rundown out of the way, let's start with the review. The leather all over this sneaker is very premium. So when you're looking at the leather, see, look at how plush that white leather is. It just feels really good to the touch. It's like it's got a little grain to it, which is kind of nice. It's not completely smooth, and the upper itself is made out of leather, underlays and overlays. The majority of it is done with this white leather that's really shiny, which I really do appreciate. Then in your toe guard as well as kind of mud guard area, so all throughout the medial as well as wrapping around into the lateral side, it's actually done in this rust color. I expected this to be much, when I saw the pictures, I actually thought it was like a brighter orange, but in person it is a red with orange tint. And that's probably why they call it Martian Sunrise. But I actually really dig this color. It's somewhere in between an orange and the typical Air Max 1 Red Anniversary Edition. Heading into the quarter panel area as well as the lacing options, you have a gray piece of leather that is done where the lacing is over here and over here. And then finally in the back over here, you also see another piece of gray leather that has Nike Air done in orange in the back. To finish off the upper, you have a Nike swoosh that is done in that rust color that I was talking about, and then you also have contrasting eyelets on both the medial as well as lateral sides in that same color. Moving up to the top of the sneaker, you have a flat style lacing system, which is super typical of the Air Max 1. And then finally, the tongue is actually a pretty thin tongue made out of a mesh, and that also has that Nike Air done in that rust color as well. Moving over to the midsole, you have a white, bright midsole, nothing special to tell here. Where the air bubble is, you also have that rust color. And then moving down to the outsole, you have a bit of that rust, black as well as white. And that's pretty much it. And finally, finishing it off with the coup de grace of why everybody who likes the Air Max 1 needs to get this sneaker. It is that little mini swoosh done in white. It is one of the, I don't know why I like mini swooshes, but on the Air Max 1, I just feel like it's phenomenal. It just looks so clean. I I wish the original Air Max 1 had it, but it makes it special when they actually embroider it on, so it's kind of cool. So what are my thoughts on the Air Max 1 Elevate? I would say that because of all the different colors that were released, everyone is going to be able to find a color that is likable to them. I actually really like this rust color, and so it's a really special color to me. It just looks really unique. And from a design perspective, I mean, everyone loves the Air Max 1, and so it's not a huge departure from that, but I do think that the materials, for about $10 to $20 more depending on which model you're looking at, it's worth it at $150 to upgrade materials. I'm a huge materials guy, so I'd say like definitely go for it if you want an all leather upper. You know, in terms of breathability, all that type of stuff, if you're looking for mesh, you're not going to be running these. This is a lifestyle sneaker. Your feet are going to be sweating, and it's not made with the most kind of new technologies anyway. So it is what it is, but I would definitely put a recommend for the Air Max 1 Elevate. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the content so far, and squeak all over that subscribe button for any content that you want that's related, or if you just kind of like my smile. And that's it, guys. Until next time, this is the Air Max 1 Elevate, done in the Martian Sunrise colorway.